I just want to take a moment to kind of outline some of the main points for the lesson today. It shouldn't take that long, so I'm going to begin. What we're basically trying to do is accomplish a couple of things today: define what a state is and list the characteristics, and then more importantly, kind of on your own research the various types of government. So you can kind of read what the definition for a state is, but it gets down to basically it has an organized government. And what I told the students today is don't think about the state like the state of Illinois or Iowa or Massachusetts. It's much larger in our class. In our class, a state is like the United States or Great Britain or China or Japan, something like that. And we kind of talked about what makes up a state. And as you can kind of see here, I have the notes. So a state has a population, it has territory, it has sovereignty, and it has government. Now, sovereignty is probably the only one you are not familiar with. All that means is that a state has the ability to make rules and that people will follow those rules. And other nations will respect those rules too. The last part of kind of the day before I gave the assignment was how our states formed. And I put down a couple of notes here really quickly how these states originate. So sometimes, like with the evolutionary theory, a royal family starts up a particular state, and as that society grows and gets older, the same ruling family stays in power. Or another way of thinking is a royal family starts a state, and as that state evolves, the same ruling party stays in power as well. Force theory, the key word I used is war. It just means that a state is created because someone conquered it and added it into their empire, or some other nation was conquered and they created a new state out of it as well. So think of an army goes into a defined territory, defeats those people, and creates a state out of that territory. That's force theory. Divine right theory, the key word here is religion, because the ruler has convinced people that God is speaking through them. So if you think of like ancient China or ancient Japan, whereas the rulers were the idea concerning rulers were that God was speaking through rulers, and when rulers spoke to people, people followed those orders because ultimately God was speaking to them. That's divine right. But social contract is one that the United States uses, and the key word here obviously is contract, and it's a contract between two parties, and the two parties are usually government and people. The contract is the government will protect your rights, and the people will follow the rules. So as long as the government's protecting your rights, the people agree to follow the rules. And this is the U.S. model. And so what we eventually did is say, okay, once you have a state, then you got to pick a government. And so what I said to the students for the assignment would be create a 6-word summary over these different governments. So direct democracy, oligarchy, republic, totalitarianism, monarchy, and theocracy. As far as defining them, what I wanted the students to do is define those governments in 6 words or less. And so I, for a class example, took direct democracy. Now, direct democracy is a form of democracy where everybody participates in every part of government life. So my 6-word summary was even shorter than 6 words. It was 2. I said everybody participates, because that's what a direct democracy is. And then I say draw a short cartoon graphic explaining the type of government. So you could have many different people down here all going in, or all going into a government building or meeting and discussing issues. But however you want to draw it out, draw it out. And so we did that one in class, and then the students took over and they researched what an oligarchy is, did a 6-word summary and drew it out. What a republic is, 6-word summary, drew it out. Same thing for totalitarianism, monarchy, and theocracy. So that's what we did today. If you have any questions, email me, and I'll see you sometime later on this week. Take care.